Don't you just love how the Amazon rainforest is burning down right now? Yet we're still more concerned with which studio is to blame in the whole Spider-Man situation. I hate Twitter so much. Could I still be your superhero? Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Arrowverse or Arrowverse here, back with another video. Today we're going to be diving deeper into the whole Spider-Man being yanked out of the MCU by Sony situation. What's going on, who's to blame, all that great stuff. Before we get into it, you can subscribe to the channel if you're new. I would really appreciate it. I'm here frequently talking about geeky content just like this, and let's get started. What's going on? This is just a dumb situation, to be honest. Like, it annoys me so much that this is what came out of it. Obviously, Disney and Sony were looking to figure out a new deal for Spider-Man being in the MCU, and their current deal was Disney got 5% of the ticket sales within the first couple weeks. Now, the first couple weeks are where the movie makes the most of its money, so that's honestly not terrible, considering this is Sony's character. Spider-Man still technically belonged to Sony, and Sony was just kind of letting Marvel use him because they were desperate, and they were kind of a weakling studio at the time. So Marvel stepped in, took that deal. 5% of the ticket sales might not sound that great, but Disney also got 100% of the merchandising right, which is crazy. Like, merchandising for Spider-Man is huge and can honestly sometimes be just as big as the ticket sales. You also have the fact that Sony wasn't really making much from the Avengers movies that Spider-Man was appearing in the MCU. And so overall, I would say that original deal was pretty 50-50, with maybe a little edge going to Sony. But, I mean, it wasn't as terrible as everyone's making it out to be, because they don't look at the merchandising money and all of that. So, what did Disney want? Well, they wanted 50% of all Spider-Man ticket sales, all of Spider-Man. They wanted to keep all of the merchandising stuff, so 100% of that, and they wanted control over the Sony spin-offs like Venom and Morbius. That's where I'm like, nah. From a business perspective, it would have made no sense for Sony to take that deal. So, big up for them for saying, nah, dude, I'm out. Now, people are like, well, why wouldn't Sony offer them a better deal? They did. It's been reported that Sony made Disney other offers besides just keeping that original one. Sony really tried here, and Disney just would not back off of that 50%. And so I say good job, Sony, for being smart here, because what Disney was asking for was way too outrageous, if you ask me personally. Now, some people are like, oh, well, Spider-Man wouldn't be nearly as big without the MCU, you know? They just had the first billion-dollar Spider-Man movie. But that doesn't really come into play when you talk about business. And so for Sony, I think the right thing to do, if Disney wasn't backing down, it was to call it off and take Spider-Man back. Venom basically made $1 billion on its own, and that was Sony's first real live-action Spider-Man movie in their new universe. And so if you add Spider-Man into that, I think Sony can definitely be making some bank there. I would love for Spider-Man to still be in the MCU, but for that to happen, Disney's they're gonna have to get off their high horse. That's all I can say, because they are not being very cooperative here, and Sony said, okay, that's an absurd thing to ask, we're not gonna do that. But Sony's the bad guy here. I just don't understand. Could Disney have asked for a little bit more? Yes, definitely. I think 10%, maybe 20% of the ticket sales would have been good, and Sony gave them other deals, but Disney was just set on that 50% mark, and so I think it's fine to go out there and ask for it, but you gotta, when you're rejected, go lower and lower until you reach a reasonable middle point. Hopefully this gets solved, but these are the facts as I see them. Maybe something else will come out that proves me completely wrong, but right now, I do really think Disney is to blame, and Sony was quite smart here, because it is pretty outrageous for Disney to ask for everything they did and then not back down. I don't know, let me know what you guys think of it down below in the comments. This whole thing is just stupid though, like, I'm pretty sad about this whole thing. To have Spider-Man just yanked away, it's all not ideal, but, you know, hopefully it can get resolved somehow. Disney, man, gotta get off their huge ego. They already run most of Hollywood. Just back off a little. You're fine. I don't know. I'm going to end this video here. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.